I think that if I were to have received healing from anyone else that wasn't you, I may not have trusted. But because you and I have this long relationship where we've known each other for many years, um, when you said that, what's done is done, and that's it, he's healed, it was, I was okay with it. Like I was like, okay, Silka says I'm healed, then that's it.
Okay, so Magdalena, you and I were going to be sharing an amazing story today, which I am so excited about. And first of all, I just shared with you just how proud I am of you and how much you've grown and the amazing woman that you are. And you and I, we have known each other for many years now, actually. And so recently,
Yeah.
yes. And recently we talked about the events that transpired between you and I when you were pregnant with Felix. And we've never really shared this publicly. And you were so gracious to say, absolutely, let's go ahead and record this and let's talk about it. And so this is going to be your story of your pregnancy and the healing that happened and the beauty that life is and the beauty of the possibilities that lie within the magic of energy healing, I feel, and also on our own determination, when we seek and when we follow this path. So let's go from the beginning. Where do we start? So I'm going to say, for me, the beginning was when you came to me, because you were so gracious on offering to do yoga poses for my chakra class. And that's where it picks up for me. But I want to go ahead and go back to where it all began for you.
So I found out that I was pregnant on April 18th. And during that time, I experienced a lot of different emotions. I was not expecting to be pregnant. I had not planned for this. This was not part of the plan. In fact, I was trying to do a yoga retreat to India in November of 2019. And I actually delivered in December of 2019. So that just wrecked all my plans. And so I thought of all of my options. And one of those options being not to go through with the pregnancy. And so it was a very emotional time between April 18th and till when I came to your house, which was sometime mid-May. So I was about 14, 15 weeks along. And after I decided that I was just going to go through with it and we are going to accept this baby, we are going to have him, we went to my first ultrasound appointment, and everything seemed normal to me. But I noticed that his belly was a little round, and the doctor didn't really say anything then. But the nurse had called a couple days after that appointment saying, hey, we need to have you come in for a second ultrasound. We just want to look at some things. And me being the person that I am, I kind of goaded her a little bit, and I was like, why do we need a second ultrasound? Typically, we don't have multiple ultrasounds unless there's an issue. So she eventually told me that the reason why was because my baby may be subject to have a condition called an umphalicil, which she's like, don't look it up, don't try to research it any. It's just going to make you upset. Just come in and we'll do another ultrasound. So naturally, I looked it up. And an umphalicil is where the baby's organs are born on the outside of their body. And I also learned that it could be a cause of a lot of different issues, not just the organs being born on the outside of the body, but just life in general would have been very complicated for him. And so I was distraught. I actually asked multiple people to help me find some kind of healing, and a lot of people gave me the same answer. I think that everyone, myself included, was very afraid of trying to do this healing and then it not work out, and me being disappointed. So instead of trying to help me get this healing, a lot of people were just really loving and kind, and just like, hey, let's just, we'll give you some love, but if it doesn't work out, then it'll be okay. And so I was still dealing with that. I came to your house and we were working together, and I don't even think I told you that I was pregnant. I think or maybe I did, but
Mhm.
I was really early, and I thought that I was having a girl, and I remember sharing this with you and just kind of breaking down. And I did not go to your house looking for a healing. I went actually to help you
Yeah.
and ended up receiving so much more than that. And I'm pretty sure I cried and told you everything. And you put your hand right on my belly, just a little bit below the belly button, and your hands were super hot. I could feel vibration flowing through them. And at this point, I'm like really crying and shaking and like sweating. I just felt hot all over my body. And you said to me that, I'm like gonna cry just talking about this actually. Um, you said to me that, well, you're not gonna have a girl, you're gonna have a healthy baby boy, and that's it. It is done. It is done. It is done. We're not even going to talk about it as if you're going to have an unhealthy baby, because we're claiming it right now that he will come healthy. And I want to say that healing, that session happened with you around 2:30 in the afternoon, because it was either one whole day or 2 whole days right after that. I got another call from the same exact nurse that I spoke with, and she said, hey, I'm confirming your appointment. Did you say you wanted to bring your older son to see your ultrasound? And I said to her, I don't want to bring my older son to this ultrasound if there's going to be a problem. I don't want him to get attached to the baby if something may happen. And very quickly she was like, oh, no, 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 please bring your son. These things tend to work themselves out. It'll be fine. Just come in, bring your son. We'll have a great time, and let's look at the ultrasound again. And we looked at the ultrasound. The ultrasound technician was a lot more involved and was like more bubbly and talkative. The first ultrasound, she didn't say anything. And I just thought maybe that was her personality. But looking back now, I know that she wasn't saying anything because she saw it too. She saw how the baby's belly was bulging. That was gone. In the ultrasound, you could see that was gone. And the doctor confirmed that he was fine and healthy. And at that point, they could also do a blood test to test the sex of the baby, which they had already done that test as well. But I wanted to have a gender reveal and do that whole thing. So they had already confirmed the sex of the baby, but I didn't know. Which later on, we found out that I did end up having a boy, a healthy baby boy. And during my pregnancy, I abstained from everything that could hinder my blessing, because it was such a sacred and special thing that I received from you, that I didn't want to like disrespect the blessing by partaking in things that could hinder anything at all. When I had the baby, uh, the birth went fine. It was a beautiful birth, completely natural. It was quite honestly like a spiritual experience, really. The whole way that it happened was just a very healing, wonderful thing, and something that will always remind me of this blessing that I received. Was when my baby was born. Um, the doctor laid him on my chest, and I didn't see his whole front side at the time. But once we went to go give him a bath and we were cleaning him up, I noticed that he actually has a little birthmark right on his belly. And I just can't help but believe with all of my heart that it is a reminder of that sweet blessing that he very well could have been very sick. And I got healing and confirmation from you that he was not sick. In fact, he was extremely healthy and a boy. And, and he just has this beautiful little stamp of a reminder on it, on his belly, to
I'm getting
to
goosebumps
always
now.
remind me.
Oh, gosh, and
Hmm?
I've been getting goosebumps this whole time when you were just going through the story, because it's just so amazing.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, what I remember is when you came to me to do the yoga recording, you had mentioned to me that you were pregnant. You thought you were going to have a girl, and your belly was just beginning to just barely show at that time. And we were saying, great, it's still the perfect time, for you to come and do the yoga poses, and for me to
Yeah.
record you for my class, because it's still great right now, a good time. When I recorded you, I had the camera going, and I was just watching you go through the yoga moves and just smoothly just to transition from one pose to the next. And I was just observing, and this voice inside my head just kept on saying, healthy baby boy, healthy baby boy, healthy baby boy, over and over and over again. And I didn't understand. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps again. And I didn't understand in that moment, because we hadn't talked yet. So you came so professional. It's like, okay, here are the poses, here's what I'm going to do. I had the camera set up, and you were there, like I said, to support me for my class. And so we hadn't really spoken about the pregnancy or anything up until that point. And that I just kept on hearing, like I said, these words just repeated over and over again. And I knew obviously this was going to be a message to you, but at the same time, I didn't understand until we took a break. And I remember where we were standing in the healing room. And oh, gosh, goosebumps again. And
Yeah.
and you said, I do want to share something with you. And you were breaking down crying, because obviously this was just something so devastating, and they had given you this information. And obviously, it was based on the ultrasound, so it wasn't 100% sure, but yet the way they had acted, it definitely was very alarming. And so in that moment, I just looked at you and I said, this is what I was hearing this whole time. So you're going to have a healthy baby boy. And then we did the healing. It was I just knew in that moment that yes, you were there to do the yoga poses for my class, but at the same time, it was so much more. The universe had brought us together in that moment, so this way I could do what I knew I was capable of doing, and for you to be able to have a beautiful pregnancy and to have a healthy baby, because this is what was meant to happen in that moment. And I mean, you were just so
And I
beautiful.
want to share.
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to share. I forgot to add this in, but I did have a very healthy pregnancy, like effortless. And Felix, his digestive tract is just flawless.
Oh,
And I also forgot to share that you gave me a stone. I don't know if you remember or not, but you blessed this crystal for me. And up until I delivered him, I carried that with me in my purse. I kept it with me everywhere I went. I really wanted to stay connected to that blessing. Every time I would dig in my purse, I'm like, oh, I can't find this thing. Oh, here's the egg. I would just like, here's my blessing, here's my reminder.
oh,
And now that Felix is out and he's healthy and moving about, now I keep that same crystal. I don't carry it with me in my purse anymore, but I keep it on my altar always, always as a reminder.
oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, I knew in that moment when I touched your belly, I knew that there was a higher power at work that was working through me, that was working through us, that was working. And all we had to do is just be in that space. in that moment and just be held in it. And I knew without a doubt that transformation was taking place, and we could both feel it. And obviously for you it was a little bit different because you could experience in your body what that difference felt like in that moment. And so until you and I talked the other day, I still had no idea if there was any kind of evidence toward the healing that has taken place. Obviously, we knew it in that moment because we could feel the profoundness of the space that was created and the shift that had taken place. And you had the evidence from before and after as far as the ultrasound. But at the same time, like you were saying, it's easy to dismiss it in the middle of it, or when we're looking back, then it's easy to say, of course, he's healthy. He was always healthy.
Right. Yeah.
And until that moment when you said, did I even share this with you, that there is a birthmark on his belly? and I said,
I know, that was so, I don't know why I didn't even think to tell you. I'm not sure if even in that moment when I saw his birthmark, I was so tickled when I saw his birthmark because I just thought it was such a precious thing, this sweet little birthmark right on his little belly.
Yeah.
But as I was talking to you the other day, it had occurred to me in my mind then, like, did I even tell you? Like, and it was like piecing together a puzzle, that, oh my gosh, I can't believe, we've taken this whole journey. Oh, and by the way, there's
That's right.
there's this magical thing that just kind of confirms everything. Like I said, like a reminder. Thank you so much, Silka. Thank you for just loving on me that day. And I didn't even ask. It was just such an organic thing that happened for us. Like I said, I was there to be there for you, and instead I ended up receiving something so much more. And I'm just so grateful for what you've done for us, and just you facilitating that and honing in the higher power and helping to guide us to wholeness of his cute, sweet little body.
Oh my goodness.
I think that for anybody that will watch this video, especially moms that may be going through something similar to this, to really just trust, because I felt just unhinged. I felt all over the place. Like, I'm facilitating this life, and there's nothing I can do to protect him. And that was like the worst feeling in the world, thinking that I did this, or I caused this to happen to him. Especially in those first weeks of me just trying to figure out what I needed to do. There was a lot of guilt that came with that. And I would just like to share it for any moms, to, when you are receiving the healing, to just trust 100%. I think that if I were to have received healing from anyone else that wasn't you, I may not have trusted. But because you and I have this long relationship where we've known each other for years, many years, when you said that, what's done is done, and that's it, he's healed, I was okay with it. Like, I was like, okay, Silka says I'm healed, then that's it. I'm not going to think about it anymore. And and then I just had confirmation after confirmation that it was so. And so I think that a big thing is not blaming yourself, not feeling guilty, and just trusting and giving it up to God or the universe. Because if you don't trust, then you're not going to be able to allow yourself to receive that healing. So completely let go, completely trust, and allow yourself to just receive, and don't question anything else afterwards.
You know what's so interesting too? I still have not even gotten around to editing the video and to putting your voice to the video, and I have not gotten around to to create the the chakra course, because the intention was to record you for the online chakra course. So that was last May. But yet,
And so really we could have just done it after the baby was born, but for whatever reason you needed me to do it right then.
Exactly. I thought, okay, I'll have time to put it together, and I already have most of the material since I've taught it several times in person, so I can just create an online course real quick. But you know, it was about Felix, and everything else will still come when the time is right. But this was about being right there in the right moment at the right time, because that's what needed to happen. So thank you, Magdalena, for sharing this amazing story, and I just love you. So, and thank you for the process of allowing me to put your story out there. So this way other women know that there are alternatives and that everything can be shifted. It can absolutely be done, and miracles can happen.
I love you so much. Thank you.
Oh, you have a beautiful and you have an amazing, amazing, beautiful life as a mom, and may Felix have just nothing but greatness and beauty and fun in his life. So.
Thank you.